Okay, so we are live now on Zoom, and I would like to welcome our first attendees. Welcome to our webinar. And today we are going to talk about studying law in Germany. And as you already know, this is the kind of a subject webinar, style of the webinar, and where we have guests from German universities who will present their unique study programs to you. And as always, during these types of webinars, I am the least interesting person for you. That's why I will keep my part short and quickly hand it over to our guests. But before I do that, let me quickly tell you that you can see the Q&A button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface. So this is the main communication line between you and us. It is already open, and you can send in your questions starting actually right now until the very end of the webinar, which means around 1 hour. And then your questions will be addressed either in the written form within the chat box, within this Q&A box, or also during the live Q&A, because we will have a live Q&A session, as I already said. So long story short, let me now quickly jump into my short part of the presentation. So starting in law in Germany, and we have 3 guests from 3 German universities who will talk about 3 different study programs. So we will start with University of Saarland, and we have Mr. Salatai, who will talk about LLM level study program in European and international law. Then we are moving to Goethe University Frankfurt, and we have Ms. Kobold, who will talk also about LLM level program in finance. And then we are closing the show with our guest from 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 University Lüneburg, Dr. 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝑨, and she will talk about LLM program in international economic law. So let me tell you quickly who is behind today's webinar for those who do not know us. So when you're searching for English taught study programs in Germany, I guess our name will pop up there. So we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs, My German University, and we have over 2,700 degree programs listed in our database, in our study finder, both bachelor and master's level programs. Also, we have some short courses and language courses. So you can see a small version of our study finder on your screens right now. And when you go to our website, you can see the full version of our study finder, which means that you can use all of its filters, finding programs based on the location, based on the mode of admission, based on the application procedure, based on tuition fees, English language requirements, German language requirements, and so on and so forth. Lots of options which will make your life much easier in terms of quickly finding the best fitting program for you. The second way of helping you is through writing articles. We have more than 150 comprehensive articles on different topics regarding studying in Germany. It can be, for example, APS certificate for those who need it, letter of motivation writing, rankings, international domestic rankings, scholarships, blocked account, and more. All of these articles are available to you, of course, for free. And last but not least, we also organize various webinars. We have approximately 150 webinars per year on different topics. It can be, for example, general webinars like scholarships in Germany, UniAssist applications, visa issue, or the subject webinars like the one you're attending right now, but on different subjects. It can be studying physics in Germany, studying mechanical engineering in Germany, and so on and so forth, different subjects. All of the webinars, subject webinars that are already planned, you can sign up for them for free and attend them for free. You can see them, find them in the webinar section of our webinar, and then you can join us for free, of course. And our team, regarding our team, we are based in northern Germany, in Hamburg, but we are also based in different parts of Germany, in different parts of the world. That's why we're counseling in different languages. So for those who are also interested in German taught study programs, I would also suggest you to check out Hochschulkompass. There you will find lots of interesting programs, but mostly in German language. But if you are more into English taught study programs, as I already mentioned, then My German University and our study finder should definitely be your stop. We have, for example, for law degrees, various programs on different levels you can see, and most of them are in English only, which means that you don't need any knowledge of German to get into those programs and to successfully, in most cases, to successfully complete them. Also, for those who do not know what to expect when it comes to studying law in Germany, so would like to have this broader view or bigger picture, for example, or general requirements or application admission or language requirements that you should be aware of, you must be aware of, or tuition fee ranges that you should budget for, etc., etc. All of these informations are also provided on our subject pages. So we have subject pages for each subject, and there we provide you with this general overview. And yeah, I think it's a very nice first step to understand what you are targeting for. Also, of course, finding the right university and fitting university profile and study program is of utmost importance. That's why you should not be guided by sole aspects only, like only the rankings of universities, only the city names, or only the fees, etc., etc. Of course, they are all important, but you have to combine them. You should combine them, and then also add to that your personal desires, your personal aspirations, your background. And by doing that, then you'll be able to make a right choice of the study program, which is again one of the first and maybe the most crucial step at the first stages of your German university adventure. And also, I would like to underline that in German there are two key types of universities. One is called Universität type of university in German, and in English it's just a university. And the second type is University of Applied Sciences in English, and in German it has some different variations. For example, Hochschule, Fachhochschule are some of them. And the main difference for now that you would like to know is in focus. So regarding the Universität, focus is more on research and theory, and in second case, it is more onto application and practice in general. Last but not least, in addition to the aspects that I mentioned before that you should ideally take into account when you're searching for the study programs and universities, also when you're using our study finder to find the programs, I would also suggest you to not to be rigid, very much rigid with wordings, be a little bit more flexible, and then you will increase drastically your chances of finding the program, the right program, because by doing that, you will be able to increase your awareness of what Germany is able to offer you. Then your chances of finding the fitting program are quite good. All right, that being said from my side, and now I'm moving to our first guest, to Saarland University. You can see where Saarland is located. It's almost France, but it's still Germany. So, and we are moving to our guest, and now who will talk about European and International Law Study Program. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I will just share my screen here, and hopefully you guys can see it.
We do.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. I'm Regi Salatai, and I work for the Europa Institute of the Saarland University. As you can see, well, the Saarland University, I'm going to speak a little bit very quickly about the Saarland University. We are one of the first 7 European universities that were picked from the European Commission in 2019. And there is a lot of projects which are going on under the umbrella of Transform for Europe. And well, you can see also the partner universities that are part of the European initiative, so to say. But I'm rather here more to speak about Europa Institute. So as you can see also in the map, as my colleague mentioned before, we are right in the heart of Europe. So yes, we are about an hour and 15 minutes from Paris, and an hour by train, and an hour from Luxembourg. Also, Strasbourg is just an hour away, and Brussels is just 3.5 hours away. So it's a very nice place, also not only to study but also to plan strategically your time to visit Europe as you are studying at the Saarland University or at the Europa Institute. When it comes to the Europa Institute, we were established in 1951. We are the second oldest institute of its type in Europe. And actually, back then in 1951, Saarland was still part of France. After a referendum in 55, they decided to be part of Germany. So in 57, that's when everything Saarland fall under the Federal Republic of France. But yes, we've been over 70 years in the business, basically. And this is an accredited 1-year master's program in European and International Law. It's a master's of law. It's an LLM. There are about over 5,500 graduates all over the world. And we have, or I will speak a little bit later about the professors. We do excursions in European and international institutions. the traditional ones would be Luxembourg, Strasbourg, and Brussels, but I'm going to mention it again a little bit later. And then we also have the library, which is the European Documentation Center of the EU Commission. We are one of the 40 libraries that are also European Documentation Center. So every single book that you will need, and in regards to the fields that we deal with, you will find it in our library. How the structure of the institute is? Well, these two guys here are Professor 𝘱𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘳 and Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥. They are the directors of the institute. So Professor 𝘱𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘳 holds the chair of public law, public international law, and European law. And he was also awarded the 𝘱𝘢𝘠𝑚𝑜net Chair in EU Constitutional Framework for International Dispute Settlement and Rule of Law. A 𝘱𝘢𝘠𝑚ONET chair is a chair funded from the European Commission, and it's rather an honorary chair that it's awarded for a period of 3 years. And Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 holds the chair of European law, public international law, and public law. And actually, he also had a chair, a 𝘱𝘢𝘠𝑚ONET chair for European integration, anti-discrimination, human rights, and diversity, which ended actually last December. And when that ended, Professor 𝘱𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘳 was awarded the 𝘱𝘢𝘠𝑚ONET chair. Anyway, when it comes to let's say the fields which they are in, Professor 𝘱𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘳 is rather more also in the field of economic trade and investment, and also raw materials. And Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 is I could say a public international lawyer and a human rights lawyer, and also obviously into economic law as well. So I'm going to speak a little bit about the program. I'm going to try to keep also the time in here so I don't go overboard. Well, there are I will just move here, and then this will make more sense, I guess. So this is basically the structure of our master's program. So you have the European integration, which would be the basic phase, which it's usually done from mid-October when we start until let's say December, and this is where you will take all the basic courses. Particularly, there are 3 courses which are mandatory. That would be European integration, public international law, and internal market. And after that, you have the right to pick up to 2 of these tracks in here and get up to 2 specializations. You can specialize in European economic law compliance and regulation. That would be track number 1. You can specialize in trade, investment, international dispute resolution, and or European international human rights. What does that mean? Because sometimes students get confused with that. So basically what it means is that when the diploma is printed and it says, you know, awarded LLM in public, or Masters of Law, LLM in public and international law, under it, it will say specialized in, I don't know, European economic law compliance regulation and trade, investment, international dispute settlement, for example. The way how you can do that is basically for 2 semesters, you have to collect 45 credit points from classes. Classes are a mixture of either academic classes or scientific written research paper from a student, and also practical classes. And after you have obtained your 45 credit points, you can write your master thesis, which is an academic work, roughly about 40 pages, which there is a time limit of 3 months, so to say, and you can write it again in one of those fields that we teach here at the Institute. And if you stick to the time, within 12 months, you will have your LLM. Which sometimes it's not the easiest for students, because particularly the ones that are career-oriented, they tend to find a job right away. So we try to push them to, you know, write the master thesis as fast as possible. These are our lectures, and I'm going to stop here for a second to also explain a little bit how our program works. Our program doesn't work like the traditional programs, you know, that you have. Let's say for the first semester, every Monday, 10 to 12, European integration, you know, and then on Tuesday, you have European economic law, and so on. The program here, we work with blocks of classes, which means a professor will come from wherever they're sitting. They're sitting basically all over the world. They will come here depending on how big is their class and how many credit points the class has. And then they will teach that class for, let's say, 2 to 5 days or 6 working days. So basically you will have, let's say, European integration from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And after that, when the professor of the European integration is gone, the public international law professor is coming, and then it's teaching their class in public international law, again, for the next 3 or 4 days from 9 until 5, 6, or 7 in the afternoon. And this is basically how we can, so to say, afford to have, I don't know, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, which holds one of the basic courses, 2 actually of the basic courses in the track Human Rights. She's the judge at the European Court of Human Rights. I'm missing a picture of actually one of the alumni, which is the German judge at the European Court of Justice, well, the General Court. She teaches trademark. Professor 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥, actually, it's the one that it's in the lecture hall right now, which is right behind my back in this wall here. And he's the general director of legal affairs at the commission. So yeah, basically this is how the program works, and I guess these are some of the names that would come up from my mind, or I don't know. Also, another honorary professor that we have at the Europa Institute is Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘵, and right now he's the EU ambassador in Vienna, but before that he was the Secretary General of the Commission. So yeah. And usually all of these professors that we have here, they're coming, being that either from proper academic fields, so that means that they might hold a chair somewhere in some other university, or they are some general partner, as a managing partner in law firms, such as, I don't know, White & Case and Tyler Wessing and so on, or judges, so in different fields. Anyway, during this year, you will have all of these soft skills and trainings that apparently, obviously, the market wants for you to have. And some of the practice-oriented classes that we have, it's EuroSim, which is a European decision-making simulation. We're going to take the students this year for a week in New York. And then we have different moot courts and case studies and so on. And for the preparation for the job market, then we do also the EPSA training, the Blue Book training preparation application workshop, and how to work in Germany and the EU. As I said, during all of this year, you will go through some stretching and compressing, so to say, because I would have to say it's an intense master's program. I mean, doing an LLM for a year, it takes some time. So you will have to start with critical thinking and problem solving, and self-management and time management, and in between we will teach you also, I don't know, negotiation skills and public speaking skills and all of that. We are very proud of also our alumni association. We have an alumni association. Actually, I'm board member of the alumni association. So we do a lot of things with the students. We were founded in 1996. There is over 100 international members all over the world, and we do we have a job and internship pool, and we do regular meetups with the alumni in different European cities, actually. But we usually hold an annual meeting with the new students and alumni in Brussels, when we also speak about job opportunities in Brussels. And these are some of our alumni. Actually, this guy over here, it's Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥. He's also a professor at the institute, and he's also the German ambassador in Denmark. When it comes to the moot courts and the simulations, as I mentioned before, we have EuroSim As you can see, this picture here in the middle, it was during Corona time that everything was live. We were about to take the students to New York, but we went in lockdown. But these are some of the pictures around the group here on the right. Actually, it's the group when it took place in London, and that was also when Brexit. It happened to be on the same time that Brexit was gonna get in power. Anyway, we have 𝘱𝘢𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨 and the FDI moot court, and then also the what we call the German moot court, which take place at the European Court of Justice, actually. Then we do simulations. We take the students at the Regent's University, and they also come here. So you will also get to sort of visit London if you would decide to study at the institute, and usually the class that takes place, the simulation that takes place in Regent University will be a combination of, let's say, human rights and economic law. Then we had Fordham, a spring school in Fordham School of Law in New York, but actually this year we're trying to come up with another spring, or rather summer school with University of Montreal. We're hoping to take about 20 students there for a good 2-week summer school. And then we have the excursions, as I said, the traditional ones, which is Brussels. We go and visit the Commission and the Parliament, and we have the alumni meeting, as I said. And then we take the students to Luxembourg and Strasbourg, where we sit in the Grand Chamber, and that's also a regular excursion that we do. And then let's say the optional one would be Berlin and Paris. In Berlin, we take the students as a special invitation that we get from the VDI Europa Forum, which is a talk show, political talk show, so to say. And in Paris, it's Professor Weber will take his student, whoever is writing the seminar in the field of dispute resolution. So you will also go and visit the ICC in Paris. The application procedure, well, you need a university degree in law or a comparable subject and proof of knowledge of English and German. The deadline for the applications is the 15th of July. So you have time until the 15th of July to send an application. In any case, if you have any questions, send us an email at the application@europainstitute.de, and we will try to answer all of your questions that you might have. And you can also follow us in the social media over here. We are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And these are some of our last impressions. And I am at 15 minutes and 30 seconds. So that was my time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to share them in the chat. And whenever we are on the Q&A section, then I will try to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And let us move now to our next speaker. Now we are moving more to the geographically center of Germany, and we are moving to Goethe Institute University Frankfurt. And now we'll talk about LLM level program, but in finance now. And yeah, Ms. Kobold, please.
Hello, thank you very much for joining us at this session. My name is Shandy Kobold, and I'm the head of programs and marketing at the Institute for Law and Finance. I did see one question just now in the Q&A was, what's the difference between a certificate or degree from an institute and a university? First of all, I have to say that while our name is Institute for Law and Finance, actually we are from Goethe University. I am now currently sitting on the campus west end of Goethe University, and we are an institute of Goethe University. And Goethe University will be in the case the same as Saarland University or 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 University. That's the same thing. We are universities in Germany, and we are recognized worldwide, our university. Our Institute for Law and Finance was established in 2002 as a nonprofit foundation of the university. The purpose of our foundation, of setting up our establishment in 2002, was actually to have an LLM finance program, LLM in finance. Later on in the slides, you will see that our focus is actually in law and finance. And that is why our institute is called Institute for Law and Finance. Makes a lot of sense, I guess. We are sponsored because we are a non-profit foundation. We are sponsored by a number of banks and law firms, and also regulatory authorities like the Deutsche Bundesbank and the European Central Bank. Many of you will know that the European Central Bank is located in Frankfurt, and they are one of our biggest big supporters of this program. We have a number of lecturers also coming from the European Central Bank and the Deutsche Bundesbank. And later on, I also mentioned that they will where our lectures are coming from. The Institute for Law and Finance not only provides Master of Laws program, an LM program, we also provide a policy platform for a lot of experts to come to us to have discussions. There will be platform discussions, there will be conferences. And if you take a look at our website, you will see that we have such conferences which are open to the public. It is not just for our LLM finance students, but of course our LLM finance students are more than welcome to join all these conferences, but they're actually conferences that are held for the public. And anybody can attend these conferences. Take a look at our website. There is a conference that's coming up on next Friday, actually on the 19th of January. It is a hybrid conference, both on campus and online. So if you like to participate online, take a look at it, register for it, because it's free, and you will then learn from experts about law and finance. That is our focus. Next page is, I go on a little bit more about the LLM finance program. We have an LLM finance program. We are very, very focused. Well, universities sometimes offer a lot of different kind of master's program, but an Institute for Law and Finance is focused on this program only, the LLM finance program. This is an international program for international students. We have this year about 40 students. And every year we have about 40 to 50 students in the class. So it's a small class. And that is something that we are also proud of, because small class means more direct contact with lecturers. It's more interactive. It's not a big class approach where you sit in class and you are kind of anonymous. That's not the case here. The lecturers will know you, the staff will know you, and I, being the head of programs, I will actually know each and every student as well. We are also very proud to say that we are been selected on the LLM Guide's top 10 list for global LLM programs in banking, finance, and securities law. I'm sure that if you are interested in doing an LLM, you would know this portal, LLM Guide, and we are listed there as being the top 10, one of the top 10 for this area, banking, securities, finance. And we are together with the top law schools in the world. So basically like Columbia Law School, New York Law School, London School of Economics and Finance. Then take a look at it, and we are listed there. And it's something that we are very proud of. We have been listed there for the last six years, and we are very proud of this achievement. Our program is also accredited. We have had this program for 20 years now. We've been running this more than 20 years, actually, because we celebrated our 20th anniversary last year. So the program has been running for 21 years, and this program is accredited and now has been re-accredited until the year 2029. It shows that, yeah, we have a good program, and that's why if it's something that you're interested in, and if that's what you want to study, I mean, our focus is in law and finance. If that's the area that you want to study, then I think I would say that we are the experts in this field. We are the one that you should come to, not only because we have had experience for the 21 years that we have been running this program, but also the fact that of our lecturers, the fact that we are located in Frankfurt, that's where the banks are, that's where the law firms are, that's where the people who deal finance and money matters are located. And that's where we are also located. I've already mentioned that our master's degree is conferred by Goethe University, even though we are an institute, but we are an institute running the program for Goethe University. And Goethe University is the main university in Frankfurt, and the degree will be granted and confirmed by the Faculty of Law of Goethe University. So it will be signed by the Dean of the Law Faculty, and it's a degree that's recognized worldwide. So I think it's already been mentioned that we are pretty much in the center of Germany, and being in the center in Germany, it's also very easy to travel everywhere that you want. Plus the fact that we have the international airport, the Frankfurt International Airport helps a lot to travel anywhere in the world, which our students actually do. They use the advantage that they have a Schengen visa if they come from a non-European city and country, and well, you want to travel to anywhere in Europe is so much easier to go from Frankfurt. Of course, with the train system, also from Frankfurt is very easy to do your study. Traveling, you're studying in Frankfurt, but you can travel somewhere over the weekend, a long weekend or something, to see some other parts of Europe. The picture there, if you can see, is that of the European Central Bank and the skyline of Frankfurt are also there. And of course, Frankfurt has also an old town, the 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, which is right in the city center. Frankfurt, even though it's a very international city, I would not say it's a very large city. It's small, cozy. You can get everywhere with a bicycle, actually, if you want to. The transportation system is very, very well connected. But nevertheless, you have a very international, very cosmopolitan feel about it in the city. More about Frankfurt. So I already mentioned the European Central Bank. I mentioned the airport. We have book fairs, music fairs here. And one fact is that almost every third person in Frankfurt holds a non-German passport. It is very international. If you walk along the streets, you will actually hear English being spoken, because being such an international city, English is naturally the common language for most people. And therefore, I would say that people who are non-Germans feel actually very comfortable here in Frankfurt. So the next I will go is more into the details of the program. I mentioned that the LLM Finance program is a program that is focused on law and finance. We have coursework that you have to attend during 2 semesters. It's a 1-year program, 2 semesters. It always starts in October. So we have the winter semester, and then we have the summer semester. And during the 2 semesters, you have to cover a total of 12 courses, a minimum of 12 courses. However, this is the minimum we have, which is something that's also we are very proud of, is actually we have a total of more than 35 courses on offer per year. So we have something like 18 courses per semester. And because of the way the timetable is arranged, there is no overlap of any courses, which means that you can choose any of these 18 courses. You actually only need 6. If you have a total of 12 courses per year, you only need 6 per semester. So you have a choice. You have a choice from 18 courses. You can mix and match. You can do whatever you want, which one is best for you. You take the courses which you want to focus is, I would say. And for these courses, we have, again, because we focus on law and finance subjects, take a look at our website because all the courses are listed there. I will just name a few. For example, international capital markets, law of project finance, law of corporate finance, investment banking, commercial banking, financial markets and institution, regulation of financial markets and instruments. So anything that's to do with law and finance, you can actually find it in our list of more than 35 courses. And you have a free choice which courses you want to attend. Only thing is subject to this requirement that is your first degree is in law. 4 of the 12 degree courses must be in business economics. So we have business economics courses too, like fundamentals of finance, accounting, principles of economics, insurance. So these topics, you have to have at least 4 of them, of the 12 courses must be in these subjects. If your degree is in business economics, then 10 of the required 12 courses must be in the field of law. We also have an internship. This I would like to say that is a very special part of our program. We actually have internships which forms a mandatory part of the program. You have to have an internship with an organization, a law firm, a bank, a regulatory institution, somewhere that has to do with law and finance. And this is usually located in Frankfurt because that's where our sponsors are from, where our supporters are from. And you will have to do an internship of 6 to 7 weeks with them as part of your program. The ILF, the Institute for Law and Finance, will assist you to look for these internship positions. And we have always been able to find an internship position for all our students. The internship is 6 to 7 weeks. It happens between the 2 semesters. So you have 1 semester, the winter semester, you do your courses, you go for an internship, which covers 6 to 7 weeks. So it's actually almost the whole of the semester break. And then the second semester, the summer semester, where you will have courses again. You will also have to do a master's thesis. And it's this happens after the program, and it's about 50, you have to have about 50 pages long, and it takes about a 4-month period that you will have to do in order to get your master's degree. We have also, this program is also offered on a part-time basis. If you do it on a full-time basis, it's 2 semesters. In a part-time basis, 4 semesters. But the condition of the part-time LLM is that you are actually employed. You have a job, and that's why you have to do it on a part-time basis. I mentioned internships, so this is the interesting part of the ILF where you offer these internships. It is a mandatory part of the program, and if you can see on the right side, that's a list of where we have provided internships to our students with in the past years. So take a look at our website. There'll be more information about this. So curriculum, I already mentioned the courses in it that you have to take. We have more than 60 lectures, so you can imagine more than 60 lectures, maybe 40 to 50, maybe maximum 50 students. So we have the ratio of lectures to students is almost 1-to-1. Very direct personal contact with all the lecturers. They know you by name. Our lecturers, most of them are actually not professors from the university. We do have academics from the university who are professors of Goethe University, but many of them are actually professional practitioners from the industry. They're actually partners of law firm. They're regulators in the ECB. The General Counsel of the European Central Bank teaches in our program. She teaches law of central banks. So that's where our lectures come from. So we have a very, very strong connection with the industries, very strong connection with the places that you are looking for a job for after you have finished the program with us. So it's theoretical training and practical training, practical insight to all the law firms, the banks, and because I would assume that many of you, after doing an LLM, one of the consideration is, where do I get a job? How do I get a job? And because of this, we also provide you with the networking, with the possibility to go to conferences. We also organize a career day where you get to meet possible potential employers. We also organize extracurricular activities. You see on the right-hand bottom is a picture of a basketball game. So we go to basketball game. We organize trips to Berlin as well. The next trip to Berlin will be in May this year. We also organize visits also to cities like Luxembourg and Strasbourg too. So we do have student activities as well. We have, this is a portion that I have to mention to our interested students, is that we do have tuition fees for this program. I do not know about the other 2 universities, but we do have tuition fees because we are institute running the program for German. You see a lot of German university. If the program is in German, you don't have to pay tuition fees. That's the case in Germany. But for institute, there is tuition fees is required, and it's 20,000 euros for full-time students, 24,000 euros for part-time students. and you are allowed to apply for financial assistance, and the maximum reduction in tuition fees is 7,000 if you are successful in your application for financial assistance, which means that you will have to bear 13,000 euros as tuition fees for yourself. The application deadline are all stated there. It is a rolling basis, so the earlier you apply, the higher the chances of getting a place in the program. These deadlines are also found on the website. So cost of living in Frankfurt, I would say it's depends very much on you, your choice, cost of accommodation, your own personal choices. I would say that it's about 1,000 euros per month. So this is second last slide that I have is what can you expect when you come to us. The vitality of West End campus, which is a very beautiful campus, is where I'm located now and sitting, where the building behind this screenshot of mine is actually the building where I'm sitting. Is called the House of Finance. We have a very international curriculum for faculty and student body. We have an all finance curriculum, everything focused. Our specialty is law and finance. We have this very special internship, mandatory internship program, which is necessary, which is all students have to finish when they have to complete when they are studying with us. So I think have reached the end of my time slot. So thank you very much, and take a look at our website. If you want to have more information, you can send an email to LLM at ilf.uni-frankfurt.de. That's where the admissions team is. Or you can send an email to me, and my email is with 𝘱𝘓𝘪𝘥 at the beginning. So thank you very much, and yeah, we'll speak to you afterwards at the Q&A session. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your presentation. And yes, indeed, our Q&A session will start in around 15 minutes. And now, before that, we have our last presentation for today. We are moving to the northern Germany, to Leuphana University Lüneburg. You can see where it's located on the map. And we will now talk about LLM, again, International Economic Law. Dr. Kropachova is with us for that. Please take the floor.
Yes, hello. Welcome to my part of the presentation. Let me share my screen. Welcome. Now you can see the presentation, right? So welcome once again, and I'm going to speak about our dual degree LLM program, International Economic Law, which we offer together with the University of Glasgow and with the University of West Indies in Barbados. So I will introduce to you the university, our law school, and we'll tell you about the curriculum at Leuphana, and then about the second year, as well as about career prospects, and then I will speak about more practical matters as entry requirements, fees, and scholarships. So our Leuphana Law School is quite young. It took over 500 years to open it and to establish it. It was established only in 2013. Nevertheless, it is growing and developing, and now there was a Center on European Law Studies established, and it is the first law school in German public research institution that offers interdisciplinary study programs mainly conducted in English. Leuphana Law School brings together all Leuphana-based legal scholars to deliver teaching and supervision leading to undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. So we offer LLB, LLM, and also PhD. And combining law and business issues through a special interdisciplinary approach, research and teaching at Leuphana Law School is both innovative and internationally focused. There are quite a lot of international contacts, and the course of the study is also very practice-oriented with a lot of international focus, international networking, and you will get also key qualifications, for example, in business negotiations, which are an integral part of the program. So essentially, it is a dual degree program, and 1 year is spent at Leuphana, where you get core competence in international economic law, while you can choose your track for the second year. You can either go and spend the second year at the University of Glasgow, or you can spend the second year at the University of Cave Hill, Barbados, and this is University of West Indies. I will tell you about this both tracks a little bit later. So during your second year, you will get a specialized degree in one of the areas of the international economic law, which you can choose. Because you will be studying completely in English, you will get a high level of proficiency in English. You will get also access to global graduate networks, as both the universities in Glasgow and in Barbados have really strong and well-developed networks, and also our students already work in different enterprises and businesses, so it will be also for you interesting to get in touch with them. So this is the curriculum, and you can see the first year at Lüneburg. So you will get international law, European law, international economic law courses, European private law, and international private law. And then, as I mentioned, in the second year, you have a specialization. So you will be studying in Scotland or in Barbados, and then you will be writing a master's thesis. Lithuania teaching staff, just maybe briefly, the director of the program is Professor 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨, who is also teaching in Glasgow. And we have lots of connections to Glasgow. For example, Professor Christian Tams, he's also teaching at Lithuania, and he's the head of the International Economic Law program in Glasgow. We have also external lecturers already from Glasgow who teach in our program, so that you will have already a good feeling and a good preparation for your degree in Glasgow, especially. As you will be prepared, you will know already the standards and how to study in Glasgow, what will make your second year successful. Yes, we have also scholars with the focus on sustainability, but also civil law, international law, corporate law. So we have quite, you will get quite a good knowledge from these scholars. Now, this is just for you later. I will share my presentation, and here you can later look at our campus. This is our Lithuania Central building, which was developed by Daniel Libeskind, and which already tries to implement some of the principles of sustainability. Sustainable development is one of the key slogans and principles of the Lithuania University, together with humanistic education. And it symbolizes the development of the Lithuania University, its educational concepts. Just maybe a couple of words. Lüneburg is quite a small, cozy, medieval town, and the campus is very cozy as well, with a lot of interaction for students. So here you will, if you watch this campus tour, Lithuania University, you will later see what it is like to study at Lithuania. Now, if you decide to spend your second year at Glasgow University, then you will be also quite happy about Glasgow campus, which is based in the cosmopolitan West End of the city, close to a fantastic range of restaurants, bars, and Glasgow University has a very strong social community of students with lots of activities, societies. So you will have really an interesting year in Glasgow. Here again, I will not show you the video about what it means to study at the University of Glasgow, but you will be able to watch it later when you get the presentation. What is important, especially during your second year, you will be able to choose your own LLM program. For example, you can choose commercial track or international student to get LLM in international law, international security law, international economic law, and LLM in intellectual property and digital economy. There are quite a lot of programs, and you can choose from this for your second year. So when you are accepted to the University of Lithuania, you will be also accepted to this LLM program. Here I should mention that Glasgow University is very competitive and it is very difficult to get accepted into Glasgow. And through our program, you will have your ticket to study in this prestigious university. So this is the degree structure. You will be having courses from September to May, and then you will be writing your MA thesis with the graduation being in November. In Glasgow, but also in Lüneburg, you will have relatively small classes, very interactive seminars. In Glasgow, you can control your schedule and curriculum. You can choose quite a lot of classes. Yes, again, the graduate community is really has really many social activities in Glasgow. Now, coming to the second university, Cave Hills campus. Here I should say that these classes for now are offered only online. So while you will be at the Cave Hills campus, you can use its facilities. Nonetheless, the classes will be online for the second option. It is the oldest faculty of law in the region, and different politicians in the region have studied at this university. So for this area, it is a very prestigious university. And here you will also have a very experienced lecturers who are also former politicians or who have been members of courts. And it is has very good law library. And here you will be able also to choose your own degree, which you can pursue. For example, international commercial arbitration, international commercial litigation, international law, intellectual property law. So here you will have, again, quite good choices about which degree to pursue during your second year. Here you will also have an opportunity to look at the Cave Hill campus, which is always sunny and nice. So if you don't like the typical German weather, maybe it's a good option to spend the second year in Barbados. Now, our students will be prepared specifically for management positions in multinational companies, as well as advisory positions in both the public and private sector. You will have an opportunity to work at financial service companies, at the international organizations, legal departments of internationally operating private sector, and also in science. If you like, you can stay and pursue PhD programs after this degree. Now I come to more practical matters. First of all, entry requirements. So you will have to have a BA in laws or bachelor's degree with the predominant legal components, what means that at least first examination or international equivalent or successful completion of 81% of the courses is required. Here is some information about the language requirements. So we will need to have the tests as the language proficiency level proof from you. And yes, now I'm coming to here. I have the link where you can look up more information about how to apply, what the selection process is all about. So you can later look at this page to find out more details. Now, contributions fees. At the Lithuania, you will be paying only a semester contribution fees, which is approximately 750 euros for the year for 2 semesters. And the fees will be paid then for the second year. So this is the more expensive part. For example, you will be paying about £15,000 for your second year for your degree in Glasgow. Here you will get actually a 40% discount for the fees of the international students at Glasgow. So this is also where you get this opportunity to study much cheaper at the University of Glasgow because we have this cooperation. If you decide to study at the University of the West Indies, then you will be paying about $10,000. It is for all dual degree students. There are some scholarship opportunities where you can try to get a scholarship for your second year. It is, for example, with the 𝘸𝘪𝘵, or there are some special scholarships at the University of Glasgow and also at the Cave Hill. So here you can also apply for scholarships, and I'm sure probably my German university has also some pieces of advice on how to get a scholarship to study abroad, or might have, but in any case here, for example, you could also look up for the scholarships. At a glance, our application deadline is the 1st of June, and here you can see again the summary of the program, 2 years, and you will start in the winter semester in October. So if you have some questions about the topics of the program, more about the content, you're welcome to contact the director of the program, Professor ter Heegte. If you have more practical issues or questions, you're welcome to contact me. And we also have student counseling who can also give you a very good piece of advice on different aspects. So you're welcome to contact us if you have any questions. And now I will stop sharing my presentation, as probably there are also now questions for everyone, or questions which we can answer. And thank you very much for your attention and for your interest in our programs.
Great, and thank you very much for a very good presentation. And let me actually stay with you, open the Q&A session with you, because I've just received several questions, similar type of questions, and let me ask you, let them combine them. So one question was, but can students stay in Lüneburg and do the online classes from there? I think it's referring to Barbados. And the two other questions were, whether these Glasgow and Barbados are optional, and whether students have an opportunity also to stay the second semester also in Lüneburg.
Here I would no. Unfortunately not. So if you apply for our dual degree program, you must choose the second option and go somewhere for the second year. So it's not possible to do some other courses and just stay in Lüneburg. This is not possible. And you would need to go to Barbados, because still the infrastructures, the libraries are there. So you would need to go to Barbados. If you decide to do the second option in Barbados, and in Glasgow, everything is in presence. Yeah. Okay,
clear. Thank you very much. Now, there was a question I wanted to ask also. There was a question for Frankfurt. Yes. So the question is, do you have special connections with the financial institutions based in Frankfurt? I mean, do your graduates have increased chances of employment in the field there?
We definitely have special connections with all our sponsors because they are our sponsors. So they provide money to support our institute. And so we have direct contacts with them. And of course, also through our lecturers. Our lecturers are also partners from law firms or regulatory authority personnel who works in this, for example, the ECB. Yes, we have lecturers at the ECB. So yes, we do have direct contacts. And I have to say that many of our graduates actually, first of all, internships do not guarantee a job there. Internship just gives you the chance to meet people. It gives you it's a stepping stone. It's not the job yet. So you will have to do some work on your own, get to know people, get to know opportunities, but that's where your networking comes in. You have to meet people. You have to go to conferences. You have to speak to your lecturers. You have to speak alumni. We have a very, very strong alumni connection, and we have actually a lot of alumni who are still here in Frankfurt. They are not Frankfurters. They are not Germans. They are still here in Frankfurt from the past years. So the answer is yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Very much. Thank you very much. Now let me move to Saarland. There was a question because you, Regi, you mentioned several types of trips, also overseas, And then the question was for those who might need additional visas for those trips. Do you provide, and what kind of assistance does the institution or university provide in this regard? Or may some of the students be left in Germany?
We do provide obviously anything that the visa application would require. I studied here back in 2014, so I came here for 1 year, and then 10 years later here I am. And I've been working here. This is my 7th year. Never did I remember a case that a student didn't get a visa, being that for the US, for the UK, or for Canada. We do give special assistance though, because sometimes visa procedures can be a little bit annoying. So I'm Albanian, so I had to apply for visas myself also to the UK or also to the States. So it's like I'm the guinea pig first, and then I take it to the States, you know. We do provide assistance, yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. And let me stay with you. I have a general question for everyone, but let me start with you, Regi. The question is, so are these programs consecutive ones, which means that is the law background specifically is a must to qualify for these programs, or those who have some social sciences background as well might potentially qualify? Please, let's start with
particularly when it's to our program, we would also accept, so to say, humanities, meaning could it be also business administration, but it could also be political science or international relationship. Another thing which is seen quite interesting, and particularly in my year, I had 2 and 2. They were 4, 2 translators and 2 interpreters. Because also if you would want to be a translator or interpreter in one of the EU institutions, all of these 4 that I actually graduated with, they work at the Court of Justice. But the EU institution or the translating department, they would want you to also have an LLM. So we are not strictly only law. So
okay,
that's for our case though. So for my colleagues here, I don't know.
Okay, great. Yes, please, Frankfurt.
I could say regards to our program, we do have certain limitations here. So we can only take people who have a bachelor's in law, of course, because it's law, it's an LM. But we also take students who have a degree in business, accounting, finance, business administration, anything to do with the area of business and finance, economics. Those areas we take, but we don't take somebody who has a degree in, let's say, philosophy, sociology. Those we can't take into our program. So we do have restriction, yes.
Okay, clear. Thank you. And in case of Lüneburg?
Yes, I mentioned this actually in my presentation. We are the consecutive study program. So you do need to have a bachelor in law or degree from other programs, but that we would see from your transcripts that you have studied quite a lot of courses in law. Yeah, so yes.
Okay, perfect. And let me stay with you, Lüneburg, and then again, a general question. Are there student dormitories available at your location?
Yes, so the student dormitories are available, though at Ljubljana, you will have to apply in advance for the student dormitories, and we have quite a lot of students who prefer to live actually on campus to rent an apartment and to share apartments. But the dormitories are available, and I know that in Glasgow the dormitory system even is more developed than at Ljubljana, so that there you would have also to apply, but there are even more facilities.
Okay, great. And what would you say, Ms. Cobalt?
It's the same situation too here. We do have dormitories. We actually have dormitories located on campus on this, where I am now. We actually have a dormitory like 2 minutes from my office. Okay, it's not that many, but most students actually don't want to stay on the campus to be so near. So they prefer to be a bit on their own on the far, but they are like student apartments. And there are student housings outside, but they are not dormitories which are owned by the universities. Yeah.
Okay. And the same question goes for Saarland.
In case of Saarland, unfortunately, we do not have dormitories, but Saarbrücken is a very student city. So we do assist also the students when they go through the whole admission and enrollment procedure to find apartments. There is a lot of student apartments in Saarbrücken, small apartments, 21, 25 square meter. But there is also something which in Saarbrücken but I guess it's not only in Saarbrücken, it's a German thing, share flat, or what they call it WG, you know. So a lot of students tend to, it depends from situation to situation. Somebody wants their own apartment with, you know, they don't want to share anything, and sometimes people are more extroverts, so they would want to share their kitchen and apartment. But there is a lot of opportunities in Saarbrücken.
Mm-hmm. All right, so great. Thank you very much. There's one more question. There are several questions which I will combine now and ask to all of you because all of them related to scholarships. Let me start maybe with Frankfurt. I think it was mentioned the particular sort of scholarship, and the question is there different application deadline for that and different and separate application in general, or is it included already with my application for the finance?
Yeah. It's a separate application, but it's an application that should be made at the same time as your application for admission. So it's the different form. You have to have different supporting. You have to, you know, financial assistance. You have to have supporting documents for financial assistance. So it's a different form, and you have supporting documents, but you have to be submitted at the same time, or at least when you submit your application for the program, because the application for the program is on a rolling basis, so it's first come, first serve. And if you still have not had your application documents for your financial assistance, you should nevertheless submit the form and say that you are planning, you would like to apply. So it should come in at the same time. Yes.
Okay, that's good advice. Thank you very much for this information. That's very important. And now recently received question also for Leuphana. So the scholarships offered by the University of Leuphana and the Institute for Law and Finance are what percentage in relation to the total, and do they providing housing too? Housing too, in what terms are you talking about? Okay, yeah, please let's start with and then add up more answers as needed.
Should I start? Well,
Yes.
there was probably some confusion. We do not offer scholarships, unfortunately, because Leuphana, here we get only, you will have to pay only the semester fee of about 700 euros for the whole year for 2 semesters. This is what you're paying for Leuphana degree, let's say. And in Glasgow, there are their own scholarships. So you would need to look at their webpage and see what is offering and what the deadlines are.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, as Dr. Gorbachev also mentioned, I also put in the link in the chat just after she finished with her presentation about potential scholarship opportunities. For example, if you would like to cover your housing costs in Germany or living costs in general, there are separate applications, several separate public institutions to which you can apply and get those scholarships. For example, very well known, I guess, DAD, a very popular destination for students in this regard. Did I get frozen?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
But you're back.
Yes, now I'm back. And I was talking about scholarships like separate funding institutions where you can apply for.
And I think you got frozen again.
That's strange, but did they understand that I'm talking about DAD?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Then Zoom is kicking me out already. Time is coming, I feel. Last question, Regi, for you. Do you have any special scholarships, or also the advice would be the same, like DAD and other institutions?
It would be the same. We are not allowed. We do have tuition fees. Our tuition fees for the year are actually 6,800 euros. We remain to be the cheapest LLM in Europe. But we do not have scholarships. The alumni do award a scholarship via the 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥, which would cost sort of cover accommodation. But again, as the student will have to go and apply to the 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 to be awarded the scholarships that are, so to say, targeted for the Europa Institute.
Mm-hmm. All right, great. Thank you very much. And now as Zoom doesn't want to hear me anymore, and the time is coming. Let me say thank you, first of all, to our guests for their presentations, for staying with us, and for answering the questions, both live and in the chat, and also for the attendees, of course. Thanks a lot for your interest and questions. I hope you'll manage to get into one of those programs. And if you have any more questions to those programs, they gave you the contact details. You can get in touch with them and ask your specific questions to them. And of course, they will be happy to help you. And from most of them, or from all of them, you will also receive the presentations, where you can also find the contact details. The presentations will come to your email with which you registered for this webinar. Once again, thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice rest of the day. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.